Your remote team isn't quitting because of the pay, they're quitting because you've replaced human connection with digital surveillance. And while most managers are busy installing keystroke trackers and planning virtual happy hours nobody wants, the most resilient leaders in 2026 are solving this with a philosophy written in a Roman battlefield 2,000 years ago. What Marcus Aurelius understood about discipline, agency, and internal fortitude is exactly what your remote team is starving for, and by the end of this video, you'll know precisely how to give it to them. Here's the truth nobody in HR wants to say out loud. The virtual happy hours aren't working. The subscription stipends aren't working. And the constant Slack notifications? They're making things worse, not better. Remote workers aren't leaving because of missing perks. They're leaving because of something no benefits package can fix: psychological isolation. The pressure to stay visibly online all day while feeling completely alone has created what researchers now call the presence paradox. Constantly connected, yet completely cut off. And here's what's fascinating: the solution to this very modern crisis was never in any HR software. It was written 2,000 years ago by a Roman emperor who understood that no external condition can break a person with a solid internal foundation. The Stoics called it internal fortitude. And it might be the only retention strategy that actually works in 2026. Here's the management mistake quietly destroying remote teams right now, and most leaders don't even see it. They're spending enormous energy trying to control things that are fundamentally uncontrollable. Home environments. Motivation levels. Whether someone is at their desk at exactly 9:02 a.m. And in that obsession, they've built an entire industry of surveillance software and keystroke trackers that sends one message louder than any company memo: we don't trust you. Marcus Aurelius understood something modern management has completely forgotten. Some things are within your control: clear objectives, transparent expectations, meaningful outcomes. Everything else is not. The Stoic leader defines the former with absolute clarity and releases the latter entirely. Because the moment your team feels monitored instead of trusted, the psychological contract is broken. And no salary increase in the world repairs a broken psychological contract. Here's a question that should stop you cold. What if the most powerful retention tool available costs absolutely nothing, and almost no organization is actually offering it? Marcus Aurelius governed an empire through absolute self-discipline, not because rules forced him to, but because he had designed his own internal system. That principle, the ability to self-govern, to own your approach to excellent work, is exactly what your highest performers are searching for and almost never finding. Radical agency means letting your team build their own deep work rituals without permission. It means trusting people to structure their days around their peak performance hours, not a factory floor schedule designed for a different century. And here's what surprises most business owners: genuine autonomy over one's schedule is a more powerful retention tool than almost any bonus structure you could offer. Because money compensates for a bad environment. But real autonomy removes the bad environment entirely. Here's where most organizations get completely stuck. They know something is wrong with their remote culture, but they have no idea how to measure what they can't see. So they track screen time. They run quarterly satisfaction surveys that generate scores nobody acts on. But here's the only metric that actually predicts whether your best people are about to leave: psychological autonomy. How empowered does each team member feel to make independent decisions on any given workday? This is what a fortitude audit measures: a structured process for identifying exactly where your team's internal strength is being drained by external friction you could simply remove. Unnecessary approvals. Redundant check-ins. Tools that slow people down instead of enabling them. Every single one of these is a withdrawal from the psychological account that determines whether your best people stay, or quietly start updating their resumes. Here's what all of this builds toward, and it's the part most remote culture conversations never actually reach. The goal was never simply to retain employees. The goal is to build something so fundamentally strong that physical proximity becomes completely irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius called it a citadel, an internal stronghold no external circumstance could ever breach. The most resilient remote organizations of 2026 are building exactly this: not a collection of isolated workers performing tasks from separate rooms, but a unified team bound by shared values, mutual respect, and a culture of individual excellence. There's one more Stoic principle worth applying here: memento mori. Time is finite. So strip away every bureaucratic task, every pointless meeting, every performative ritual that wastes it. Give your people work worthy of their best hours. Build a culture rooted in discipline and purpose, and your best people won't need proximity, perks, or surveillance to stay. They'll stay because leaving means giving up something they simply cannot find anywhere else.